Okay, here's a quick video on how to multiply fractions. So the fraction we're going to start off by looking at is 3/4 of 2/5. Now for fractions, multiplying is actually the easiest operation that we have to do. And all we have to do is multiply the top two numbers together, so 3 times by 2, which is 6, and then multiply the bottom two numbers together, 4 5s, which are 20. And then you see if there's any numbers that you can divide both the top and bottom number by a common factor. In this case, you can divide both top and bottom by 2, and you're left with 3/10. Okay, so we've cancelled this fraction down to its simplest form. So just to recap, multiply the top two numbers and the bottom two numbers and then cancel. However, if you looked at this question, you could have made it easier from the beginning. Now, if you don't understand this bit, don't worry. You might just have to deal with simplifying. But if you look at these numbers, notice how this 2 and this 4 have both got a common factor of 2. There's a number that both divides into 4 and 2. So we can actually cancel down the question to make it easier. Now this only works with multiplying fractions. Okay, so I can divide 2 by 2 and I can change that to 1. And I have to do the same to either the 4 or the 5 to keep this question the same. It only works with multiplying, remember. So I can divide 4 by 2 to get 2. And then do the multiplication like last time, but now I've got 3 times by 1 and 2 times by 5. And notice how the answer is already simplified. Okay, there's no need to do simplification because if you simplify the question, then we get a simplified answer. And sometimes the numbers that we multiply together are easier. Another thing you might see is 3/4 times by 8, or 3/4 of 8. Of is the same as multiply, so it could be 3/4 of 8 or 3/4 times by 8. So in this case, we can again turn it into a fraction. Now any number can be turned into a fraction by dividing by 1. There's a fraction. 8 divided by 1 is 8, but it looks like a fraction now. Now we can multiply the 4 times by the 1 to get 4, and the 3 times by the 8 to get 24, and then see if it cancels. Does a number go both into 24 and 4? Yes, 4 does. 4's go into 24 6, and into 4 once, and 6 divided by 1 is 6. We could have also cancelled it down in steps. We could have said 24 divided by 2 is 12, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Remember, fraction and division can be thought of as the same thing. Or 6 over 1 if you prefer, and then 6 divided by 1 is 6. So cancelling down depends how good you are at your multiplication tables or your multiples of how quickly you can cancel down, but always try and cancel. So another key point there that I glossed over is the word of. If in a question you asked for 3/5 of 1.5, what they're trying to say, it's the same as saying 3/5 of, 3/5 multiplied by 1.5. Now the easiest way to do this question is to convert this mixed number into a top-heavy fraction. So 3/5 times by 3/2. And if you don't know how to do that, there's a video on the King's Learning platform that will help you with that. 3 3s are 9 and 5 2s are 10, and that doesn't cancel any further. So a very quick summary of multiplication. The easiest one to do. Key things to remember: of is multiply, and you multiply the top two numbers together and the bottom two numbers together, and then see if it simplifies afterwards. Hope that helps. If it doesn't, come and see us and we'll watch the video again.